All right. How are you feeling? How are you
I'm feeling
feeling
good.
about
Like,
things?
I'm already ready for Twitter. Like, they got some good memes up.
I know. That was the first place I went. I was like, yes, show me what you got,
Like,
world.
yes, WandaVision gave us some great memes. Like, the Vision. My favorite. Oh my god. This is why I love Twitter. They just be extra.
They're just, it's creativity, man. Like, in its rawest form is
It
Twitter.
really is.
Okay, it's officially 10:15. Let's get this road on the show. Get this show on the road. I'm already hyped to talk about this. I can't even talk. I need to get off Twitter. Otherwise, I will not be able to focus
I know,
on the
I'll
show.
just be laughing if I keep looking
my
at
ass
Twitter.
off the entire time. Okay. All right, so hello, everyone out there in the world of stereo. We are Soft Smiles Club. My name is PJ.
And I'm Rockin', and today we're talking about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, so super duper spoiler alert. We're gonna lay it all out there. So if you haven't watched it yet, leave now or forever hold your peace. Okay. All right, so let's start off with first reactions. So I know you watched it this morning. I literally just finished it. So what was your first reaction to everything?
Oh my gosh. So I think it was just nice being able to get into like both their personal lives. The Falcon and Sam. I guess I can call them by their names. I don't need to call them by their
Go ahead.
hero names. Like just getting into their lives, like just getting to know them, because like we never really knew much about their past, or like I guess just them personally. Like we knew about their I guess they're more like they just you just knew about Steve mostly.
But well, yeah, because they were side characters. They were never main characters.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. But they both were kind of his sidekicks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. They never really got the spotlight except for maybe 2 minutes in an action scene. Other than that, we didn't really care about them.
I mean, I guess there was a whole movie based on the Winter Soldier, so I guess
okay, so
he got a little bit more of the sunlight.
yeah, but definitely the Falcon definitely never has had the spotlight on him ever. So I agree with you. It was also really cool to get to see his story and where he came from and what's his family situation like, because we get the origin story on everybody else, but not really so much the sidekicks until the main character drops off.
Yeah, because we knew a little bit about Wanda's because they talked about it. You actually got to see it in WandaVision, her history. Yeah, and I mean in WandaVision too, their origin stories were also mixed into the X-Men origin story too. So it wasn't completely clueless on who they were. Just they maybe didn't get that specific spotlight in the MCU. I mean, okay, so you're talking about X-Men now. I mean, yes, they had Quicksilver, but he wasn't a main character in there either.
Yeah.
So, but also, it's just two different universes. They're not on the same timeline, X-Men, Marvel.
They're not, but they're based on the same.
Because we thought that maybe they might be doing some multiverse stuff in WandaVision, but I guess not. Because then oh yeah. So of course he's different. He's from a different universe, but
now he is. But I mean, they were all derived from the same comic book series. They just took different bits and pieces of it and then separated it out into Marvel and X-Men. But they came from the same origin of the comics.
Yeah,
that's another thing too. I feel like comics spend more time, showing you the backstory.
Oh yeah, because they have the time. And TV shows and movies, you only have 3 hours, or in the case of a TV show, 20 something minutes?
Yeah.
Minus the credits and all that stuff. You don't have time to put in all the fillers and all that stuff. No one wants to sit around and be no. Okay, we're going to their backstory.
Okay, so we got a window into their personal life. What else, first reactions did you have to the show?
Some sadness, I guess, because apparently from the way they've been talking, I guess Steve passed.
Yeah. Wait, I knew that. How did I know that? You didn't.
Well, I mean, in the end of Endgame, he was an old man, but he didn't pass in that movie.
No, but I mean, I definitely assumed from that movie on, he's gone. They even he gave him a shield,
he walked off into the sunset. Like that is all of those things line up to he's about to die for the next week or two.
A week or two.
He
didn't look that old to me, I guess. That's why I thought the way I did.
I don't know. But okay, so there was that, right? But then the 5 years also passed between like them ending that movie and then where we are now.
Wait, no.
Yeah? People didn't come back at the end of that movie, right?
What are you talking about?
You tell me. You're the expert here. That's what
If you're talking about the blip, that was 5 years. They brought everyone back, and then he went back in time to return all the Infinity Stones. That's when he came back old, because he stopped and like spent time when he was young to marry Peggy.
Okay, so that movie happened after everybody came back.
Yes.
I'm gonna let you tell people what the timelines are, because obviously you're the expert here. I watch a Marvel movie and forget it. That's why we're having this like right now, so I don't forget the show that I literally just watched. Okay. Any other like first reactions to this show that you were like, oh my god?
Not any like oh my god reaction. I mean, okay, well there was a little bit, because when it starts, like Sam's on his mission.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of surprised that he was just killing all these people.
Elaborate on that, because I kind of felt the same way. I was like, oh, they're like actually killing people.
Yes, like I thought like maybe he'd like just like disarm them and like
yeah.
But no, like people, he was like exploding helicopters that people were in.
Yeah.
I mean, of course they were enemies, not just like normal people, but
right.
And then like throwing them out of the helicopters.
I
was like, dang, he's being a little
a
little dark.
Yeah.
I mean, of course we don't see them dying, but like they're dead.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. There's no way of like getting around what is the end result. I wonder if it's because it's a TV show and not the actual movies. What do you think? Like it's more violent.
I don't think it has something to do with TV and movie, but like just like Sam himself. Like I couldn't see him doing that, which is weird to see him then. Because then I guess why it's surprising is because you never seen him fight anyone except for like the big evil guy.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
But I feel like, okay, so even when like the superheroes are fighting like regular people, they were never just straight up killing them.
No. I mean, okay. There was like Wanda, and when they were in, I forgot, someplace overseas, but the guy who tried to detonate a grenade in his hand with Captain America near him, he started to detonate it, and Wanda caught him in like a little force bubble, and so the explosion was like encapsulated in him, so it was like burning him. Like I'm pretty sure he's dead, but like she like then like moved him up into the air and then let him explode away from people, but it didn't explode away from people because it hit the side of the building and caused some damage there, and I think probably killed some people inside the building.
Thoughts on that? Wanda was like going back and forth between like the good side and bad side, wasn't she though?
I don't think she wanted to be on the bad side. Like she just happened to be working for Ultron, which is when she was like on the wrong side. But then she started to see that he wants to like destroy the world and all that other stuff. She's like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. So she wasn't inherently bad. She was just like one of those like young rebels, because like she was upset over like Stark, because that was the name on the missile that landed in her living room and kept them stuck for a couple days.
Yeah. Okay, wait, so that missile really never went off?
It didn't, no.
Okay, I'm just curious. That was kind of left as a little cliffhanger in WandaVision. Well, I'm also wondering if because like now we're talking about like side characters, if they don't really care if the side characters will just straight up kill people. What if that's only like a main character, like a Captain America, or one of the other like big ones where like, okay, you need to preserve his image, like don't actually have him kill someone on scene. That I wonder if that's it, because people look up to Captain America. They were wearing them as Halloween costumes, and so like it'd be kind of messed up if they're like, oh, like that person actually killed people on screen and all your kids saw it, But speaking of kids, I feel like the movies are more family oriented, so maybe they wouldn't show straight up killing as much, if at all, and the TV show is more geared towards adults.
I don't know, because like, I mean, they're not, although they're not killing people, they're killing aliens, which, I mean, what, would you count that?
Well, that might be, I don't know. I don't think it's 1-to-1, but I think it's something that is like, could also be sensitive. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's because they're side characters, or they were side characters until the series started, that it didn't really kill people on screen. But now that like they're kind of doing their own thing. Also, I think a lot of the time that they said in the episode is that, oh, we're in tough times right now. This is a different time. They kept saying that over and over again. So I wonder if just in general the Marvel Universe is going to get more violent and kind of try and get on the same page as DC.
I mean, possibly. But also, Winter Soldier, he's always been, like, killing people.
That's very true.
At least, I mean, not his true self. I mean, he's not bad. It was whatever the people put in his head that made him, like, sleeper agent or something.
But that turned him into a villain. And so that's why he
Yes, but he himself is not a bad person.
I know,
but that's not how... to be better.
I know, but that's not how he's portrayed on screen. If you, like, ask a little kid, okay, who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, they know right away. Like, it's not, unless, like, they're a little older, like, if you're, like, young and you're like, okay, this person's killing people, this person's saving people. Good, bad, you know?
That was in his past. Like, I say he's made up for it in the Endgame Infinity movies, because he helped fight alongside them to defeat Thanos.
I hear you, but I'm saying, like, this is how they're painting the picture for, like, of the Winter Soldier for, like, marketing purposes, because, like, he's always wearing that mask, he always plays the role visually as a villain.
I guess if you see it that
way. I do see it that way, I do. Some of my first reactions to the show is, like, and we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier, is that, like, they kicked off the action right away. Like, within the first, like, 5 minutes of the show, if that. And I wasn't expecting that. Like, I was trying to work while the show was going on. So I was like, WandaVision was pretty tame initially. I can just kind of catch up on the storyline, listen to it, and then go from there. But I was like, oh, God, no, I need to pay attention to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Disney is going to be showing, like, they might be given a pass for the violence in these shows, but I definitely don't see them making the shows gory, though. They'll definitely stay away from gore, but violence is okay.
That's a good point. Because I feel like DC movies are gory.
Yeah. I mean, the exception is Deadpool, but...
Deadpool's a little gory.
He is. He's the only, like... I think it's the only, like, R-rated Marvel movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that, but... For the Avengers, like, all of them, I don't think they'll ever, like, show blood. Like, they'll show people getting hurt or, like, probably killed. But, like, you won't see them being killed. You won't see any blood.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's just going to be evolution. And I'm curious to see, like, how, you know, they try and position themselves in relation to DC moving forward.
But, I mean, this is my personal opinion, but I just think even if they don't show, like, blood, all that gore and stuff, it's still, like, top tier for me. Like, DC is
Marvel.
Yeah. DC is, it's okay.
I'm torn. I'm so torn because I love Wonder Woman. Like, okay, I did not like DC up until Wonder Woman. Just to be straight
really
up.
So you never watched any of the X-Men movies?
Not really. Like, I watched it secondhand, but I never, like, sought it out. I sought out to watch Wonder Woman because I was like, okay, you know, like, and it was also came out during, like, the rise and, like, the height of, like, the female empowerment movement. And so that's when I was like, oh my God, yes. Like, I was crying, like, watching it. Yes, like, I feel so empowered right now. But other than that, like, I'm like, okay, whatever, DC, go over there and do what you need to do.
Yeah, I don't feel like Marvel has to worry about DC for, well, the immediate future anyway. I don't think they have to worry much about DC. I don't know what DC has in store. Like, I know they have some things in store, but I'm not sure how well they're gonna do. Well, I'll wait and see.
Yeah. See, I don't even know what's coming up for DC. We've talked about Marvel and what they were doing for, like, the next, like, 5-10 years. We're like, okay, this is coming
like,
up. Then
there's
we're gonna see this, yeah. I know nothing about what DC's doing.
Yeah, I mean, okay, the only thing I know of is the Snyder Cut. The Zack Snyder Cut came out.
Yeah.
Which I haven't watched. Because, I mean, first off, I saw the original Justice League, and it was okay. Like, it felt, like, very rushed to get to Justice League. Like, there was not as many, like, origin movies, like Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, like, all those lead-ups to, like, that big, like, Avengers first movie.
That's true.
That you just felt so rushed, like, oh, we gotta do what they did. And, like, I don't know, I didn't like it as much. And,
well, do you think that's the case, or do you think you just didn't watch the origin movies?
I mean, there wasn't that many. Like, it just felt rushed to me. Like, I know there was, like, Aquaman, Wonder Woman. We saw the Batmans. We didn't see a Flash origin. I mean, I know they had, like, the CW show, but I've only watched, like, a few episodes, random episodes. At least the one that they have, because they're not the same actor, so I don't know what's going on there. But also, you don't see Cyborg, like, his origin story. He's just kind of, I mean, they, like, tried to tell it a little bit in the movie, but, like, that's it.
Well, I wonder if their issue was that they tried to spread around the origin stories outside of movies. Like, they did TV shows randomly, and they expected people to kind of, like, jump around. And then Marvel was very organized, and they released movies and, you know, put them, you know, set them up so that they would all lead to one road that was the Avengers movies. And they just, like, did it so beautifully, like, interweaving the storylines. I could talk about that alone.
From what I've heard, just from watching videos and stuff, it seems like DC has a lot of, I guess in their studios, they have a lot of infighting and a lot of disagreements, too many cooks, that type of situation. So that's why we end up with the mediocrity that we've been seeing.
You gotta all be aligned in the brain.
I could probably see that, like, they're all trying to do different stuff, which is probably a reason why there is a Snyder Cut. He's like, I didn't like how this one turned. I wanted it to be this way. Release this one.
We're just gonna have a bunch of cuts with, like, people's names on them and be like, okay, this is my version. But I mean, they're gonna end up with, like, a multiverse of, like, characters over there.
The regular movies and then the Snyder Cut movies.
Until they get it together. So, like, the action and stuff was, like, one of my first reactions. My second, like, oh my goodness, reaction was, like, but it kind of leads into the plot twist of the show. I don't know if we want to get there yet, but I was like, okay. Like, it's a classic Marvel, like, oh my god, like, you're connecting the dots. And I think something that makes it so exciting for a TV show format is it happens a lot quicker. Like, you get to those little juicy bits of the show a lot quicker, a lot sooner. You don't have to sit there.
Not to mention, there's only 6 episodes, so they have to.
Oh. Wait, how many were in WandaVision?
I think there was 9.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're on a tight timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now they're amazing with their comics, and then the animated movies are really amazing. So if they could really just kind of feed off of that, I think they'd be safe.
I've heard that, like, their animated movies were really good, and I just never had the time to check it out, because I know there was one that people were recommending. I think it was like The Killing Joke or something along the lines of that title. But, like, I've heard that sounding really good, so I might check it out on one of my free days.
Yeah, I didn't even know they had, like, a whole, like, I know they had animated TV shows, but I didn't know they had animated movies.
I would just check streaming services. I think they're,
I guess that's the other thing. Like, I feel like they're so spread out. Like, I know HBO Max has some, but, like, honestly don't know where to find the others.
I think Netflix, but yeah, but other than that, I haven't really been that into the comics because I just didn't really think to read them or go in depth with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, check out Son of Batman, where Batman's kid shows up, and there's a whole, well, I won't say much, just check out Son of Batman.
I feel like that's what the Lego movie is. The second Lego movie. Wow, I can't talk. The second Lego movie is based off of. Kind of.
What?
Wait, have you seen them?
Wait, you're talking about the Lego movie? I've seen the first one.
You haven't seen the second one?
I think I have. I don't know.
Wait. Okay, no. There's a few. There's like the like base Lego movie, and then there's the Batman Lego movie. Have you seen that one?
No.
Oh my God. Hilarious. I love it so much. Like I was crying with laughter in the theater. It's just so good. It's so good because in the Lego Batman movie, it's called Lego Batman movie. He has a son. He adopts a son, and then it turns out to be Robin. It's a super adorable but like friggin' hilarious movie. Like you have to watch it. It has probably nothing to do with the show that person mentioned, but okay. Do you want to talk about the plot twist
at the end?
Yeah, I mean, okay,
wait, which one? That one or the one with Bucky?
The one with Bucky. Wait, which one are you talking about at the end? Oh, wait, that's not really a plot twist.
I mean, it's just kind of a big wow.
It's just deceiving. It's bogus.
Okay, yeah. So you're talking about the one with Bucky, aren't you?
Yes. Let's start there. there.
Hey, this reminds me of a show.
Oh, go ahead.
What's it? Oh my God, what's it called? You were watching it.
I was.
Yeah.
What was the basis of the show?
So this woman, she was in her car and she like killed.
Dead to me. Yes. It's kind of like that. Okay, so in the plot to Dead to Me. For those of you who haven't watched it, basically this woman kills this other woman's husband, runs him over, or hits him with her car, and then she befriends the widow of the husband that she killed because she feels bad, which leads us to the first like plot twist of the show in the first episode.
Because you see like Bucky's friend, like this older man, you're just like, okay,
yeah,
But then they go back in time to show when he was like the Winter Soldier doing his missions. You see this younger kid because no witnesses. He kills him because what?
You said the story backwards. So he sees the younger kid first, and then you see Bucky talking to the older guy.
Oh really? Okay, my bad.
Yeah. No, go ahead. Keep going.
But yeah, like so he sees him do this. Do the deed, kill someone. He's like, well, can't have any witnesses. This poor kid, he's just trying to get through the door. I feel so bad. Like the key is going everywhere but in the hole. I felt bad, but I was kind of laughing a little bit.
Again, you do not know what you would do in that scenario. I think I would pass out, honestly. Take it that way. Take that way. Unconscious, please.
Which it's sad because like he made like a good decision. Like his friends were like, "Hey, you want to go to happy hour?" And he's like, "Nah."
Yeah. Note to self: go to all the happy hours.
Oh my God.
It was weird because when I saw that scene, I actually thought the kid would have been some type of kind of diabolical Hydra agent or something. But then it turned out being a normal guy just trying to get out of there, and he was so frozen. he barely moved until they zoomed in on him, right?
Yeah. I also thought like he was something, and because the way they set the scene up, like they showed him walking towards that direction, but then they showed all the soldiers against the wall, and like all that mysteriousness was going on. And actually, when Bucky came through the wall, that scared the shit out of me. Like, I'm not ready for that. But yeah, and I was wondering where this was going because like Marvel never like sets you up and then like leaves you hanging for very long. And the longer the better, obviously, because you're like, oh man, okay, that was a good move. But yeah, I was wondering where that was going because like they don't bring people into the picture who aren't important to the plot.
Sorry, when you said that, I just thought about what was it? I don't remember which movie it was. It might have been the first Avengers movie. You remember that one woman that just like they focused on for a long time?
Oh my gosh, she had so much. The blonde and like the witches. Yes.
She had no other like purpose in that movie. Like
no.
I think they wanted to do something with her, but They actually cut a lot of her scenes that was just her.
Yes. Okay, so before I tell you why she had so much airtime, the reason that like I thought she was going to be important in like an upcoming movie, like she's going to be the new side character or something, I was so convinced because Marvel sets up this pattern where they bring people into the frame, they hang out for a bit, and then they go away. They're going to pop up in like the next movie or two. Or like, at worst case, like at the end of the movie, and they'll be like, like I'm that person. I'm important. And they did that. So they did that. They focused on the cafe girl. She's like distressed, trying to run away, trying to get people to safety. And then they just move on, and we never see her.
Like there's nothing else, and we're just like, okay, that was weird.
That was weird. Like I'm still angry about it to this day that they tricked me, because for years I was waiting for her to pop up in a movie and be important. So what they actually did is that they actually filmed a bunch of scenes of civilians in that whole like charade of like the scenes where like destruction was happening. They showed a bunch of civilian scenes. So they showed like the hostages, they showed them trying to like escape and get to safety. They for some reason were really focused on having like a civilian storyline. But at the last minute, they cut all of that out of the movie. And if you go on YouTube or whatever, you can find those scenes. I don't really know what they were thinking. I've watched a lot of them, and I'm like, okay, you're getting us connected emotionally to these people who are trying to get to safety. And I think like they were trying to show like the civilian response and like the civilian appreciation of like the Avengers and the heroes and all of this, but. It seemed kind of pointless in the end, and the fact that they cut it kind of proves that point. But they left that one in there, apparently. I don't know if that was an accident. I mean, it has to be an accident, because I don't know why they would do that otherwise. And so now here we are.
Yeah.
Dazed and confused. Question for you. In the very beginning, where the Falcon picks up the shield and you hear Captain America talking, do you think Captain America, like, voiceover or, like, voice in the head is going to keep making a reoccurring appearance in the show?
I don't think so. I think it's just important to that moment when he was holding the shield. Just to remind the people, I guess, watching, the audience, of, like, what he said and, like, why he has the shield.
That's true. One of those reminders, like, hey, just in case. It's better than, like, this is what happened the last time you saw these two characters together.
Right. I mean, I guess just for people who, like, if they didn't, or if they don't, like, follow the Marvel Universe as, like, passionately as some people do, they can, like, watch it and still, like, have an idea. Like, them going through, like, the Captain America Museum, like, I feel like that'd be also good for people who haven't seen the movies. Like, they know, like, who they're talking about, whose shield this belongs to.
Yeah, and it's funny because, or not funny, but like I appreciate that they do that with their movies. Like they're giving people background knowledge so that you can literally jump in here. And I mean, I am like the best example of this working because I literally forget all of the Marvel movies after I watch them. Like I don't need details enough to like talk very long about them. But and I think like I know exactly. I think like when they set the scenes like that, okay, remind you of like important pieces of this person's like origin story or of like previous movies what happened. It's very clever of them.
So Sam and Bucky have been separate for the first episode. How do you anticipate them being joined together or finally becoming the team we see them in the trailers?
Ooh, okay, I have a response. Do you want to go first?
Sure, yeah. It might be the same, but we'll see.
Okay, go ahead.
So, I think they're both gonna see, well, I guess we haven't gotten to this part yet, but the new Captain America, I think they're both gonna see that, and they're gonna be like, wait, hold up.
Yeah, like, oh, hell no.
Right, and then I think they're gonna come together over that, and just, like, we need to restore the real Captain America's honor, and put it back in the museum where it belongs.
Either that or yes, that's where I was going.
So what's yours?
I was thinking like, they're gonna be mad as hell. Bucky's gonna return. Sam's text message fine, and he's like, "Oh, did you see this shit?" And he's like, "Yeah, I saw that shit." And they're gonna get together, and they're gonna be like, "All right, what are we gonna do?" I feel like that is what's gonna happen. And
sorry. Part two of that. Go ahead. That guy, I think he's that villain that we see in The Mask. That one that's super strong. I think like they're gonna find out what's like really who he really is, and they're gonna get together probably over that.
Ooh.
More than like my first thing, but
you know what? I was thinking like the new Captain America is gonna be evil in some way, but I didn't think about that. That would be a cool, an additional plot twist that I would be in favor.
So what was yours?
That was it. I was thinking like they're gonna get upset, they're gonna touch each other, and then they're gonna link up and try and figure out how to. But my ending, my part 2 is that I think Sam's gonna finally take on the role of Captain America.
At the end of episode 6.
At the end of episode 6, he's gonna be like, all right, if y'all absolutely need a Captain America, I will solution.
And why do you think Bucky is ignoring Sam's text messages?
Well, he mentioned that he has a hard time making friends or doing anything of that nature. I mean, also, but he's just been like struggling mentally, like with the nightmares. Yeah. I think he's trying to get away from like all that action, violence, like that, and that could be part of it. And also, like, I mean, they weren't friends. I mean, they worked together a little bit, like in the other movies, so like you kind of know each other, but I guess they're not like the best of friends yet.
Yeah, that was gonna be my question. I was like, have they ever really been close in contact before, or not even just close in contact, but like I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen them like engage in like something other than like, okay, you go this way, I'll go that way.
They have in Civil War, you do see them together with Steve, and it's mostly like in like sometimes little funny bits, because there was like one scene where they were in like a little, what do they call it, the little like bug cars, Volkswagen, like an old,
okay, yeah,
or whatever, just like they were just in a car, and Bucky was in the back seat and Sam was in the front, and Bucky just like leans in, he's like, can you move up your seat? And he's like, no. Like they're just like both just looking angry, and then like a little bit, like a few minutes later, like you just see Bucky move to like the center seat, just silently.
That's funny.
So I mean, like they do have their moments, and there's like another one where they were fighting Spider-Man, in like the airport terminal, and they were trying to get him together. They were like webbed up to the floor, and he used his little fly buddy. I don't remember what it's called.
I don't know either.
But he used that to like carry him away, and Bucky, like they were webbed to the floor, so they couldn't move. And, Bucky's just like, couldn't you have done that later? And then Sam's just like, I hate you. Like they do have history, so I mean,
that's
it's
not
like
really.
Funny a little bit.
I mean, I think that's
it's not
like,
history, but like you see, they're kind of like
they've talked. That's really it. Like they've had conversations. They've worked together. Like this is a job for them, saving the world. Like they've worked together. This is like an acquaintanceship, in my eyes. So it's like, and they both have the same connection. Like they're both connected to Steve, right? And they're both very close to Steve. So I think Sam was reaching out to Bucky because he was like, hey man, like our best friend is like no longer here. Like I'm here if you need me. I think that is the base of the conversation.
I could think that too. I honestly, they showed the text messages, but I don't remember what they said.
That's the thing. And yes, I think that he was ignoring them because like, okay, I don't really know this person very well. I'm going through a hard time. You know, this person is still wrapped up in all of that, and they probably just and Bucky just like didn't want to deal with that. I agree with you there. I think those are only 2 plot twists in the TV show. Like I think there was only or in the episode, I feel like it was only the kid. And the end, which is more like disappointment and shady. Yeah. But I really thought I don't know. I was on the fence. I thought Bucky was gonna say something, but then he did. He just kind of left his date hanging there.
I mean, okay, she was like pressing, like I mean not pressing, but she was just like talking really like asking too much, like saying too. I don't know. I thought it was weird on her part too.
I don't think it was that weird. I think that we are seeing her through Bucky's eyes, and I don't think like in general the questions that she was asking were super invasive. I think like they kind of put her in that light because that's how Bucky is seeing her. Like he's never had like that personal relationship like since everything happened. So I think like all the questions that you ask that might be normal to someone else, especially when you're on a date and you're like trying to get to know this person. You're like, do I want to date this person? Also, that's not the first time they've ever met. Like it sounds like he's been going there for a while.
Like, and then talking. Like, but would you say that on a first date? Like, just start talking about, like, I just feel indifferent.
It depends, because it seems like they had known each other before this date. Like, it wasn't like that was the first time there at the lunch place.
That is true, because she was talking about how they didn't get their regular.
Yeah.
I guess. I didn't think about that.
I feel like those are all of my like immediate reactions from this first episode. Although I like this new guy who's helping Falcon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like his character. I like that they're kind of like he's kind of his sidekick to Falcon now. So I'm interested to see where that's gonna go. He's also really cute.
Oh my goodness. Okay. It's not a twist, but can we talk about that bank scene?
Wait, what about the bank scene?
They were trying to get a loan, consolidate their loans.
Oh yes. I
was like, robbery. I want to punch this guy.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about the bank robbery, and I was like, yes, it was very well coordinated. But okay, when they're trying to get the loan for the business. Okay, what thoughts do you have on it?
I'm mad. Just because, like, he's like, you're the Falcon. Yeah, like, can you get a selfie, all this other stuff. And he's like, but sorry, we can't give you the loan. Like,
ooh, wait, can we get political really quick? Just for, like, a minute. I have something I want to say.
Sure.
Okay. I feel like, so, like, this TV show, and I feel like WandaVision maybe at some points, but this show in particular is kind of touching on like societal and cultural issues that are going on right now. And I feel like that moment was touching on like the clout that white people try to get from black people. And they try to exploit that to their benefit, but then they don't turn around and like give what's due to black people after they've used them or, taking their style, taking their picture, putting it on social media, how to blow up for them. They don't turn back around and like and do something that actually helps black people. I feel like that's what that scene was trying to portray.
Yeah, and like you heard Sam's sister, I forgot her name, my bad, but she's like, yeah, something about like they always do this to us. And he's all like, oh no, I'm on your side. I was like, yeah, sure you are. That's what they all say.
Yeah. I feel like that scene was definitely that moment that they were trying to convey.
Yeah, definitely.
And then when they were walking through the Captain America hall, and oh no, I'm not gonna remember his name. The guy who was talking to Sam, the other black guy. Yeah, him. When he was like, man, these times are tough, like, and he's kept saying that in so many different ways, and like, like these are different, like gotta see. And then at the end he's like, I'll be here for you, and called him brother and all that. And I was like, I was really touched by that moment because Marvel didn't have to do that, like they didn't have to like put two black men like on the screen, and let them have like an intimate moment together,
an emotional moment. Like, they both lost someone close to them. Yeah, it's nice to see.
So hopefully we get more of that. I feel like just in general, like having Sam be, the main character of this show, or one of the main characters of this show, is really going to be forth putting up some of these issues that we can continue to talk about.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like if they're already bringing it up in the first episode, probably more will come.
yeah. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Hopefully, they weren't like, all right, let's get this out in the first episode, meet that quota on social justice, and move on.
I mean, I think they did pretty good with Black Panther.
They did. Yeah,
with those issues.
I won't tell them for it. I'll just wait for the next one. Okay, so we have been talking for almost an hour now. I've been dying to get back to Twitter and see what people are saying.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, if you're still listening out there, thank you for coming in and giving us your voice and letting us know what you think about it. Before we jump on Twitter, if you have anything else that you want to say, you want to get off your chest about the show, send it a recording, and we'll chat about it. I'm already here, man. I'm already here.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, yeah. So if you're just now joining us, I think someone did. We were talking about kind of like the plot twist that happened in the first episode. Things touching on social justice and how people are communicating the message through that way, but also, kind of the action and all of that stuff. Now we're going to turn to Twitter. We're turning the show over to Twitter. And so it's refreshing like every minute. Like my screen is flashing. Like people are just dropping so many memes right now. I think I'm all like talked out on this.
Yeah.
I think I've decompressed. I got everything I wanted to say out about it. Do you have anything that you want to say before we say goodnight or good morning or good evening to the lovely people in stereo?
I'm just ready for the next episode to get here now. I need to see what happens with this new Captain America.
Yes.
New fake Captain America.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. You know what? I was a little worried. I was like, because I really liked WandaVision. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to feel the same way because these are characters I never really cared for before, because they've always been side characters up until now. And I was like, well, I don't think I'll have the same, pool, but, it definitely got me. Okay. Well, we'll wrap it up this time. I want to do this again. I don't know about you, but we will decompress
next episode.
I'm thinking
do it again.
All right, so you heard it here first. We will be back here next Friday to talk about episode 2. We hope to see you all there. If you have anything to say you want to bring to the next episode, we would love to chat with you about it because I could talk a mile a minute about it. I just get so excited. So just feel free to cut me off. But we'll wrap it up and leave it there for the night. Good morning, good evening, and good night to everyone on stereo. Thank you for listening in. My name is PJ. I'm here talking to Rockin'. We are Soft Smiles Club. We have another show on the 23rd officially if you want to join us then. But until we talk and listen again, have a good one.
Goodbye, guys.